Hey, I'm Barry from Sunken Mine Railroad. Today I'm going to talk about and build the Märklin Mini Club 8980 engine locomotive shed, which is a really fairly easy kit, but what's clever about it is that the doors on the shed can open and close, much like a Märklin turnout. There's a little mechanism in here which I'll put together. Let's take a look and see what's inside the kit. All right, so here's what's in the box. We got the instructions. Here's the base plate. Here's the roof. Here's the mechanism, which is going to open the doors. This is how it works. Right here, there's a little wire that is going to run to a mechanism for the doors. Here's the Märklin flocking that comes in every kit I've ever had. And here's some of the other pieces. There's a lot of clear on this kit. I thought about silver foiling all of this, but it would take me days to do this, so I decided not to do it. It still looks awesome. And then here's the ends of the kit in cream color. There's some old school style plugs, which I can't use because they're the early style ones. I've got some newer ones. Oh, here's the sides, which actually do have some kind of silver foiling on them, so that's neat. Here's a metal weight. I think that's the part that actually opens the doors. You can see the little wires and springs. So this is going to be the piece that causes the doors to flip open and close when it moves. So let's start the kit. The directions are always kind of like IKEA directions for building furniture. So we'll sort that out. I am going to add Catenary to this because my layout's going to have it. I had to cut these out of this because they have to fit onto this rail here. And there's two resistors, or actually they're diodes that allow the trains to enter the station without the engine shed without hitting the back. So this is going to fit here, but these came with it as well, and they're little diodes. So the train comes in, and when it goes over here, it stops. When you reverse the continuity to bring them out, they come back out. It's clever, but this is going to have to go here. So I had to cut those out. All right, I had to file these a little bit to get them to open, but now they open pretty good. So if they need to have like no tension or very little tension. So I'm pretty happy with those. They'll open and close with the mechanical device, hopefully. This guy's a little sticky. All right, so you're not supposed to glue the roof on, which is fine with me. And then let's take a look at the mechanism. Okay, there's 4 of these little rods. And then this is the device here. I guess that sort of sits there, but before I put these on, I want to see how the catenary goes in here. I guess that's an addendum. Oh, I see they fold. They go through here and they fold under. It's odd. I'll show you how it works. Yellow is common. Yellow is usually positive. Here we go. Okay. So they want you to glue this down, and then I guess apply the catenary, which I could do from underneath. So that's fine. We don't need a lot of glue. Leave that guy like that. And then this eventually is going to go on top like that. And then that's the kit. But let's apply the doors. See how those go together. Okay, that's going to eventually be like in this position here. And somehow it gets into the door here. Let's move it out so the doors can be wide open. It's going to be fun. There it is. There, now we're cooking. Okay, there's one. There it is. 4. All right, let's see if they function. It's kind of exciting. Oops. That's the open. All right, I can fix this door here, but they basically open. There we go. All right, let's get the catenary on. Okay, they want you to cut all of the spars pretty much all the way through except this last one. One thing I noticed I've been experimenting with is that the catenary doesn't get cut like this, because what happens is this side, this tends to get, you know, this here isn't grounding on anything, and it moves around and interferes with the doors. So the first piece I cut looked like this, and it just didn't work. The other thing is, at least on my kit, is that these are not in the right position here for this to be in the correct position on this hole. The locomotive doesn't go all the way to the back of the building, so we really don't need this. So I cut that off just at a tiny spot, and also folded this over. So there's really no problem with that. But this was a bigger issue. I ended up right here drilling. There were already some slots, drilling 2 tiny holes here and here, so the catenary would line up and wouldn't move around. So that was one thing I noticed. And I adjusted the doors, and they work good now. So they both open and close equally. And that's kind of what you want. You know, there we go. Perfect. So I'm going to install these real quick, and then we'll put it on the layout and try it out. Just going to put this in here. Put this through this tiny hole I drilled, and then work it from the front to the back. It's hard to get your fingers in there, at least my fingers. There we go. And it drops right in. And from the other side, I'll hold up my pinky. And this side here, you just want to gently fold these over so they grab. Or use some pliers. I don't feel like I need to do this one. But now that's got a really nice edge in there to catch the catenary. It works really well. The other thing is this one here interferes with the operation of the door. So this I'm going to cut right in the middle. And then this I'm going to cut off altogether so it doesn't interfere with the weight on the door or the other springs that open the door. Gotta be pretty careful when assembling this stuff. It's very fragile. So again, we're going to put this through here. Just like that. Get these to line up and drop in. And fold them back over the other side. And that's it. I'll put the catenary back on. No interference at all. These have to be mounted precisely where these end, or you'll get some flexing, which isn't good. Hook up the yellow common. This is just for testing. Fantastic. Oh, there's the roof. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video today. It was a little bit more challenging than I was expecting, but it looks good on the layout. And thank you for watching.